Hello Blender folks, welcome and welcome back to Pxy-VERSE. Today we're gonna address finally something slightly different than the other things that have been more about scenery, assets. So today's improvements on the rigging of the main character Dorothy, and actually could be good to get those urban clothes that I need her, because these are not urban clothes, of course, not for the sci-fi story. They don't look they look more adventure stuff. So let's get to work here first on the rigging. So I'm gonna let's get unsolo all, unhide all, reset all, pose mode of course. There we go. So of course we don't want all these bones to be looking at that. So there is a big list here, and there's many things here are small, so they are not urgent. I can do a lot of things with the character already, but we're gonna look for the priorities and be trying to complete this list. The reason there are so many things here, of course, is rigging is complicated usually, and I'm trying to make a good adaptation. So there is some bad perfectionist thing, but the other reason, although the character is mostly working, even for facial expression, but I need to improve many other things, fix some things that are not working. But another reason why I have this such a big list is that I'm doing this for a template, a master template rig, an even rigged model, but essentially the skeleton, the armature object and its skeleton and whatever comes all together. So because of this custom rig and this research, right, that is a long-term project, right? So this is a template, so that's why this is I will, but so as I fix the rig, what works for the character, for deform rig, and for also the control rig, whatever, to have control for whichever 3D animation posing that I need to do, good facial expressions, adequate to the character design. So I will be also fixing those custom rig things for the template. So let me add some ideas here that I have written somewhere. This is not priority, but I'm gonna something about the neck. Test, yeah, so there's a test about neck. This is actually a problem in this particular rig. Something could be the positioning of the bone, but there are some poses here where the front part of the collarbone, the neck, they are too flat alongside the front, the chest, and this is not good. So I'm not sure what is causing this. I have here, it's not that flat, so maybe I need more a different approach on the geometry, or maybe it's just this part of the neck that here maybe it's so this is EV render. Let's get here. So it could be just the combination of geometry and topology. Yeah, so basically this face here is probably the cause. So this is not a good positioning here. So doing this from a side view, maybe it's better. What is happening here? Okay, it's not clear that this would fix the issue. I have to change the waves also, but it is plausible that this will bring some improvement. And so possibly this geometry here, the topology, could be also improved in some ways. It's unclear here for me right now what would be the best approach, but we can start to make some small adjustments here. Yeah, probably this face here. So but we have this face loop, then there's this other face loop, that there is this. Oh, there's a triangle here. This is probably not a problem, but it's not also not very accurate. So how could I do this different, maybe? Like if this face loop continued, maybe it could cross the geometry, like imagine something like that. This wants to auto snap for some reason. Yeah, but this is not a so good face loop, but it's not bad. It ends there in the breast region. As you can see, this is low poly, so this is not a big well, sometimes fixing this in low poly is actually way more complicated, right? So this face, I would like to change its displacement, its shape. Yeah. Here we're gonna get this. Where is the gizmo? So naturally there could be way better topology for that. Let's make this face a little larger. Anything else? Let's see, can I clean this in some other way? Yeah, if I had a typical face loop around crossing the neck, but this will overcomplicate. This will be for more accurate anatomy. But you see I have this face loop here for the clavicle, and this sort of helps. So occasionally it could be good to have topology like for some shapes, like here for example. Alright, so check. This is neck, neck issue, collarbone, flat with chest on pulses. Okay, so this is this other thing. Another thing that is belly anatomy, pinching mass at center. Okay, belly is not pinching, but bulging at center on pulses. Yeah. So this probably you can solve. We won't be able to see here, but probably can solve with some helper belly bones, maybe on the side, something that will give more structure to the lower torso when there are some other deforms on the lower torso, the hips maybe region. And then we have arcades controls. Yeah, so arcades is here, so this is very priority. So let's try to address the arcades hands. Alright, here. And also the anatomic lips will be something good to achieve here. So I can get, alright. So the torso, the arcades issue, some sort of automation that is failing to work. Okay, it's the face. Okay, so basically let's first isolate some bones here, notably these ones, maybe this one as well, maybe this one, which is important for control. This and this, yes, these are responsible for arcades. Then also these other arcades ones, which we need to be editing them. Okay, so we're gonna Shift H, same for edit mode. We're going to go on pose mode. We're gonna use the armature data tab and gonna look for selection sets, and here I have many old selection sets. They are just for rigging, so I want just for a new one for arcades. Yeah, like rig arcades. So it's just for rigging, not for animation. Then I can delete this later. So this setup is not working right now. We don't have the... Well, I wouldn't be able to see here. We need to open the mouth. I don't have the side, but that's fine. We just need this for now. We see that this caused some trouble with these arcade bones, because they have another setup, which is they are trembling because they have a shrink wrap feature. So for now, let's take this off. Maybe I can find later on a better solution for that. Yeah, so shrink wrapping. Okay, so now the arcades are not trembling, but you see that some bones are... There's intersection, so the idea is to fix this with the... Yes, because this will shape the muzzle, and the muzzle is structural to this, so if we just go back and enable this, this will... There's a risk of displacing the... Well, not exactly with this one, strangely enough, but it was with this one because... Oh yeah, it is these ones, right? Well, this seems to be safe, so it's more about... So the problem is when move the chin, right? Well, when I moved somehow the chin, it causes... Yeah, there you go. So something about a high displacement on... interesting. This is just parented to master mouth, okay. So they moved here just because of parenting, really? It needs to see if those bones are jumping somehow. Yeah, because they actually, what's happening is that they are following their parent, which is rotating due to its shrink wrap. The shape of the muzzle is very distorted, right? And this, do we have any dependency cycles here? No, no dependency cycles. These are not dependency cycles, just some warnings for some drivers. Yeah, invalid drivers. Need to clean up this later. So the question is, this thing is parent to deformed head, and it has this shrink wrap, but yeah, because so if it didn't have this shrink wrap, then it immediately stops trembling, and it stops. Yeah, the arcades are trembling because another thing, but it's de-shrink wrap them. All right. Okay, so no, this didn't work here. Okay, they are moving the, but by automations there. This is not important. So yes, I'm trying to fix some stability in the rig. So maybe the idea of having in the Reverse Sonic mount rig this mount positioning, it gets natural flow, right? It's shrink wrapped to the ghost muzzle mesh, which is behind, invisible. But yeah, if I don't have the shrink wrap, it's very useless, this bone. Like it's very complicated to pose it, so it doesn't help. However, if I shrink wrap, then it can work, but in my rig the shape, you see this passage here is too sharp on the character design, and this doesn't help. Also, if we so these motions, they are not good, they are very dangerous, and possibly I could fix this by, let's try. Maybe one idea would be to change the shrink wrapping mode. I don't know if I could have a fake ghost mesh that would be different. Like right now it would be, you see there, so it has these jumpy motions, which so possibly if we augment, I think this will, yeah, it's already 2, right? Let's try to augment for 3. Does this, can this help? I'm not sure. Never tried. I see that we are still facing jumpy here for some reason. Even despite these augmented things here, I barely felt any improvement. So yeah, maybe it's there is some improvement. So what is the current shape of it? Yeah, it is very, very sharp, you see. So this is a wrong mesh actually. Probably I need to change the character design just a little. Yeah, it might be the chin okay, but the mesh there, it should be more rounded. So I see here is one of the culprits, right? And this happened because I was editing the mesh, but I have a proxy mesh here as a backup, proxy face, so I can just redit this and snap the main face to. I can snap the main face on these faces. That should provide some substantial improvements. So this is something it's sort of urgent to fix right now. This happened because I was editing the. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna use a shrink wrap modifier. We're gonna avoid these things just to. Okay, let's leave this one. So this is the typical technique, right? We're gonna add a temporary, not a shrink wrap, and we're gonna target the proxy face, and it'll be on surface, but it will just be for, of course, just for the mesh of the. This is because of clipping, nothing important. I can probably place this as wire for now, the real mesh. We're gonna hide some stuff here to simplify our work. So this face here, yeah, it's still somewhat sharp, but it should be a bit more accurate. I'm gonna hide the armature also. This was the previous shape of the lips, so to facilitate my work I don't need this, and I don't need no, maybe I need this. Yeah, so just delete this. Maybe here we could. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do this here to be able to smooth and I'm not gonna, yeah, just because, yeah, it will help the shrink wrapping thing. Then I'm gonna, yeah, because, yeah, I need to target, right? So the only mesh that I want to be shrink wrapped will be, of course, not this. So just whatever face look here. It's more about the front area here. Yeah, this should be good enough. Yeah, so I'm gonna use a temporary vertex group. We're gonna call it yeah, group assign to 1. Then we got here, we're gonna get this group, and we're gonna enable on surface. Yes, So there are some, yeah, small changes, but that will help fixing. I can hide the proxy face. We'll see what it will do to this mesh. Let's see. It's actually making it worse, but because I've changed the mesh, this is probably an improvement. Yeah, I see the mouth here gets a little more here okay, so I'm gonna apply, and there we go. Oh no, okay, needs to object, apply at the end, apply, chosen modifier, keep shape keys. So just the last shrink wrap. There we go. So now we can yeah, I think I don't need this proxy face anymore. If I need, I do another one with the current state. Yeah, let's delete this one. Okay, I'm gonna save here. Some thing with the shape keys, but I think it's not important. So if I get here, this mesh has a lot of shape keys that are not in use. For example, this is completely wrong. We don't need this. I'm gonna just delete. Puff cheeks, yeah, we can maintain it, even though. Yeah, these shape keys are just maybe I keep the keys, the rounded, the puff cheeks, purse maybe would be good, and then of course gonna remake. These are from, that's it. So on the anatomic lips, right? But too late, I've deleted it. So propagate to shapes, edit mode. So we're gonna okay, select everything. That should eliminate. So I'm gonna change here to anatomic lips. We could also get a new one, that anatomic eyelashes. So this is a new proposition, and we don't need said. Purse we might use. And okay, that's it. And also we're gonna bring this here. That looks good. Okay, this seems to be well organized, except that, well, I don't need shape keys for too much things in my rig, because I'm using for the most part bones, helper bones. Alright, so I'm gonna make again the proxy face because it will be more like a backup, right? Just in case I messed up. Stuff here. Okay, why not the entire face then? Why it needs Shift D P selection. So we don't want this. It's just a backup. Now, it'll be time to be fixing those that very sharp angle, so just pushing this slightly forward. And these ones also. The chin can be a bit more pointier, especially for this character. Here we see that. Okay, but we don't have the subdivision. Yeah, it's still very sharp. So let's continue. Let's try just with this edge loop here. Meow, welcome, Batswains. Welcome to the stream. By the way, let's see, doing rigging here. Let's, because there are some emoji here that yeah, I don't see a good one from this, but there we go. No, it's not a cat, it's an owl. Yeah. So here let's get yeah. Yeah, see these very sharp things. No, they're sharp, of course. They are sharp because of the shrink wrapping here. I need to disable this. No, not the case. So, but okay, good idea to disable the shrink wrap for the Universonic Melt Rig, since I'm making these additions and I need to refresh the ghost muzzle mesh behind it, so this one will shrink wrap to a mesh that is corrected, right? Yeah, so very delicate stuff here for the character design, but I could go faster, right? The important thing is that this part, these sharp angles will cause some, if they are positioned in strategic places, they are okay, but in case like here, it is causing trouble precisely for the center of symmetry. Okay, it's getting smoother. Incredible. Here is still not good enough. Okay, we're gonna try to do a more serious job here. Let's hide something here and pick this whole thing, and GY. Now this should be fine. GY. So now apparently I've exaggerated. This is okay, it's not complicated to fix. I'm gonna get a new pass over it to fix it after these adjustments anyways. This geometry needs to be regular for the universal sonic mount setup to work properly. Here we see already that these are not good shapes. We can smooth a little. Okay, now this is much rounder. Still some issues here. Where that was a bit exaggerated with. Good. Okay. Next improvement here. We need to yeah, we're gonna approximate this. So the reason why I do the lips like this is because what's happening with these shadows here? Okay, this will be better for work. It's because I want to have volume on anatomic lip shapes on the cartoony lips, and the geometry will start very regular like this, but some shape keys will give the character design a more anatomic shape to it. So it's a very special technique that combines well with the universal sonic mount set up and can help in other domains of skinning or organic rigging. Because one principle of lips rigging for lots of good deforms, spontaneously good deforms and lots of mouth shapes without too much pain is to get the geometry, maybe you know that, but no one talks very hard to get clear information about that. But we want usually clean, not the geometry of the anatomic lips on the rest position, like this is the rest position on edit mode, but instead we want a regular geometry so it can deforms in all directions in a more organized here. Yeah, so you see here you can de-sharp a little this. Here this seems to be a little weird. I'm gonna try to align this a little more. Or I could just pick these center lines, right, instead. But it's dangerous because they represent the profile of the character. So of course if I change this too much, this will ruin my character design from this point of reference. But especially on strategic areas like the chin, that they were used to map some position with the model sheet, right? Okay, let's try a little more here too. There's a strange shading there, but let's we can also try to smooth here. All right. And alright, yeah, no, this is really not looking good in terms of shading. Could be that the light positioning, no, this doesn't use yeah, doesn't matter, it still gets yeah, so this is getting serious. Let's get face loop here. Seriously, I mean seriously annoying. So let's just try to smooth them a lot. Yeah, like it's persistent no matter what I do. So could be because of this face loop that I've made here. It's very weird what's happening there, but I'm doing my best to get these things organized. Also, you have the subdivision, right? And we're still getting this strange shading line. Maybe it's a corrupted mesh. Let's get Mesh, normals, reset vectors, no, never mind. Not inverted faces, not nothing like that, so it's not the armature modifier, it's not. Is it an illusion, or is it possible that the mirror modifier sort of yes, interesting. Seems to be an artifact from shady artifact from the armor mirror. Never seen that before. Anyways, I'll ignore this. Let's go to the, oh, maybe it's the shape key. This is bad. Oh, I was editing the wrong one. Okay, so gonna move this one to the top and whatever. Yeah, so in the end it was a bad shape key thing. So I'm gonna propagate to shapes again, right? Select all. Let's just make sure we got this right. Where is it? Vertex. Let's always be careful about this. Okay, so this piece is just a duplicate. We're gonna bring it to, also gonna lock all these things. Just be sure we are on basis, right? Alright, so I could go crazy and try to do the trick of the anatomic eyelashes today also on a, yeah, of course, on a backup. So I'm gonna save this, save as copy. Okay, so I'm gonna work on that. So the problem of that, oh, I sort of lose the texture, but okay, it is not the end of the world. So that basically means what I can do is that yes, so I want this to be here. So what I'm doing is that I'm collapsing this geometry as the basis. Yeah, we see that I wasn't able to save this one. Okay, but I have a proxy mesh for reference then, yeah. No, wait, I think I know how to record this, yeah, how to save just need to invert. Yeah, I can go back, right. Okay, so it will be like this. I have the this thing. Okay, let's say that I do again so I need this one to go up, then the basis will be the transformation, the morph. Here we can also improve this with just random, or yeah, random is fine. So I just want to approximate this as if I were collapsing the eyelashes onto the eyelids. So this geometry will be very, very regular, just as the lips. I'm overdoing it, right? It probably doesn't need to be that. Here we might want something straight, if possible, or at least smooth. Yeah, there, so don't touch the. Here we also want to maintain it somewhat straight, smooth. Yeah, this seems to be good. Then finally here there's little, then there is also the bottom one. This mesh has a anti-shrink wrap protector, so these eyelashes here, so it's okay if they are too close to the eyelids, they will also move forward as the eyelids move forward. Okay, so this technique that I've never tried, I don't remember if I have tried. I think I never tried. Otherwise, I'll probably remember the results. I say it's an advanced technique. Secret technique. I call it the constant shape key. I probably have published a highlight with that title. This is just, yeah, it's just a continuation here. Yeah, the distance here are so small that it's unlikely that anything here would pose a problem in terms of irregularity. So this mesh now is very regular. The eyelashes meshes, and so that means that now I want this to actually become the basis and this the anatomic eyelashes. Well, okay, so I don't have the results here. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, it's weird. This is happening because of the modifiers, shrink wrap. Oh, they are the bones, of course. Okay, so this is the armature modifier which is doing that. But it's weird that this is still weird. So because this is still weird, I'm just gonna delete those things. Just skip this one, so prevent other issues. Alright, so this is doing little. Yeah, it's barely not doing anything. So if I test here the results of this setup, what we get. Of course, I'd need to turn off the deforms of the eyelids, I guess. No, not the deforms, just the automation. Okay, we have the eyelashes, sorry, the eyelashes automations. We just need to they have these transformations. So just turn this off. All right. Aha! So as you can see, it was true. So we get very precise, almost clean pose, free pose for almost clean, right? Not totally clean because they are still shaping in some strange ways that I need to address, but so you see, simple eyelashes are really not a big deal, but when they become big, that's become a problem. So this is where the yeah, so if I were to just there I have these ones, right? This helper, I'm not even this. Okay, they are not responsible for but they seem to cause some issues anyway. So here we got okay, so then the idea from here, although it's not complete, right? Probably is the waves or some, yeah, I'm not sure what is causing this change in the mesh. Probably it's because their waves are varied, right? But what I want now to do is to got this to be shaped keyed with a special, so here anatomic eyelashes. So here we're gonna regrow the eyelashes. We're gonna get this, I have a cheat mode now, gonna just pick these meshes, Shift H, we're gonna get this and this, I'm gonna isolate this, and then we're gonna where okay, don't tell me that I've deleted this thing. No, it is here. Okay, so isolate these two. We're gonna turn this into we're gonna turn off this subdivision. Same for here. We're gonna turn this into a wire. and I'm going to start snapping these points, connect the dots, right? Maybe it won't be that easy. Include non-edited, okay, vertex. Need the parallax to know what I'm doing here. Hold on, this is there. Here I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I think this, and this one, if it was messed up, we'll find out. Yeah, I have to mask everything or delete this other mesh, or just have it like just do the same thing for the proxy mesh. But then I have to select both on edit mode, which could be worse. Well, because it is wire, I can easily see, so it's a bit difficult to get it wrong now. Yeah. now this seems to have been matched, and here something seems to be very incorrect. Yeah, probably let's try to fix this. Okay, so it doesn't need to mimic exactly the proxy mesh. So this is a shape key now. Which can be activated on demand. So it will remain constant, so what matters for me now is to see what where are the bones? Oh, they are isolated. Yeah. Now I've lost what I had, but okay, eyelashes, eyelids. No, I was just working with certain bones here. Eyelids, yes. I need to check something here also, and here would be nice too. Okay, so basically now I forget the face. Yeah, I need to click these ones, right? So when the eyelids close, it's almost good. Yeah, so just some things that I need to verify. But then now let's check what happens with the shape key being enabled. So you see that it's not a terrible deformation. So actually this is very nice. We see that the shape key, it shapes to try to match this, but because the geometry is very organized, the rest position, which is not this, the rest position is this actually is this, so this will indeed makes that the eyelash don't actually deform crazily. So this is a completely different business here, even when we push it, so it deforms following that thin layer of face loops that are very organized, regular geometry. So this is the value of regular geometry. Of course, on top of this, now I can rework the waves, maybe the many things that I can do to make this good, but essentially we are gonna re-enable, let's enable this, doesn't matter, and re-enable the automation here. So the automation is even more radical here. It's not, it does the flipping, right? But now it doesn't need to be doing as much work as before, although it still works here. It's still, with a few corrections, it was working before, but now this automation is much easier to do, since the eyelashes are regular. So this should improve the quality overall, the control. We have more control in the skinning of the mesh, so it's much more interesting. But it's not that it is absolutely required to have the rig works, but indeed I've just verified that this thing actually does work. So I'm gonna make here a highlight, but it's a backward highlight, and I have to mention here eyelashes, anatomic rigging, anatomic shape key for eyelash. Watch what I was doing before this point in time. Yeah, because here that I've already finished, so I wasn't sure it would work, so this is why I've decided to just put it here. And so this technique works and it's very powerful. So this is another example where we can apply this technique. The other way I'm doing this is for the anatomic lips, and it is time that I also do this here. But in this case I already have examples, so I don't need to so this will be time consuming, but it's very important for my characters, so I won't take too long. Also this, I have other things to be doing here, so we're gonna try to simplify here these controls. We don't need the bones for now. Yeah, so I just hide this. We're gonna get to work in this So the last time I did it, I was trying a different geometry for the lips, right? But here also many things are hard to do here without a proper... It all takes time, right? So it's very difficult to make a lot of experiments on this. Okay, so let's assume that this is an adequate shape for these lips, but I think I can do a little better. So I want to first, let's isolate the lips. Let's hide everything that is not important here. I don't know what's happening here. I have a hard time with the zooms, the rotations. Yeah, I just work on just pressed home, numpad period, got some zooming rotations reset to in some way. Alright, so I want to get these face loops here. I'm gonna use the typical technique here, except that I'm gonna use the cursor here to align on geometry. I want to get this alignment here, yes. Then I want to use here a cursor, and we're going to scale along, along Z. So we're gonna do exactly this. Because I want to keep the orientation of the mouth closing, right? Which is normal to the face. It's perpendicular to the... No, maybe not. No, it's not perpendicular. It's an orientation that is good for the... not the walls of the lips, but you got the idea. That part. So we want this to be very precise. And of course I could smooth here, we could do a lot of stuff, but also gonna get this, gonna GG. So here the cursor doesn't matter anymore. If these shapes, they need to become how to say, if they need this curvature from the rest position, I think this is a bad idea for mesh geometry. It would make sense for smoothness, but it doesn't make sense for regularity, I guess. So I'm going just to try to get these things aligned properly. So I need again to get the cursor there. Here it will be a little difficult to find, but this will be here. So we're gonna get back to the cursor here, and we're going to pick all these loops here, and we're gonna just GY. So this GY, this is not any simple GY, this is a GY alongside this that plane there that I've... Yeah, the problem is that it's very easy to lose the cursor if you don't change the tool. Often I get this mistaken. So we want this sort of alignment here, perfect not perfect, just straight, right? Very planar thing, even though it's anatomically incorrect, but this is not the moment to think about the anatomy. This will be later. And so here, probably by redistributing this face from this angle, we can also get an okay results. Here, I just want to centralize this a little more. So this is what I want. Yeah, now we have these faces well distributed, and here possibly we could, I'm gonna smooth these ones. They don't look good here, so the corners are usually super complicated. I think this should be good. So it doesn't need to be perfect, right? It just needs to be regular. So this is regular enough for me. So you see that if we look from the top, she seems smiling. This is because the curvature of the muzzle, the lower face, is like this. But if we see from a certain point of view that is not also from the bottom, that then in this case should appear sad, logically, there is a certain orientation angle where it will be flat. So this is a geometric, 3D geometric problem, and it occurs in geology also. But anyways, this angle is when we can look straight to that plane that I was using as a reference, these ones, right? So now that I have this one, I'm gonna save. Yes, now this character is ready to receive another anatomic shape key, which is the anatomic lips. This might not be the ideal geometry. We get a little problem here. I'm going to GG this. I'm not sure this was correct. I just spot some small anomalies there. Sometimes I just want to cancel these chats, but okay, just click this, right? The emojis are options. We're occupying too much space. GG. This clipping is also not helping. View, let's get for work here. We just want no clipping on start, almost no. There you see, this is very irregular, so just gonna push it back. So yeah, we could just smooth this a little, maybe these ones. No. Shouldn't hurt too much. Okay. Now this seems very accurate. So to start doing this, there are many variations of this that I have tried. Anatomic lips. I'm gonna lock here just in case. So I'm gonna work on this one. So basically I need the model sheet here would help, or actually what would help would be just trying to draw, but we're gonna use the model sheet and see if we can get any from the front. It won't help too much, I guess. Yeah, the model sheet for the front, it doesn't help too much. From the side it can be very useful. Okay, so you see that the mesh already has suffered some variations, and it's possible that some things here are not mostly accurate. This is not the character where I've made corrections to the model sheet, that's right. So we'll have some more back and forth things to do, but here the positioning of the mouth, what matters here is that I can see some shape. So there is this kind of curvature. I'm trying to draw this, but here. So I'll use the annotations even. So I'm just gonna call it here. It doesn't matter. So these lips should have more or less this bulge, this yeah, and that part is not super relevant, so we can just end like here. As for the top, I barely see here because it's hard to draw this on computer, but if I'm not wrong, it should be okay. Then does that mean that these lips are too yeah, so apparently this is correct. So the mouth here is larger, but this is maybe a problem of the adaptation. So I'm gonna try, I think the lips will be something like this. In any case, I can just reposition the mouth later. This is not so complicated. It doesn't necessarily compromise the wave paint, although it can compromise the geometry a little. So I'm gonna keep it simple here. And so this suggests already that I'll be needing to do some sort of proportional editing. Oh no, this is, yeah, anatomic lips, of course. So this is more about the lips, so it shouldn't include other mesh, so you can totally sort of try to isolate stuff here. This cursor, I'm not sure if we want to maintain it. I've been using indeed this idea of one face loop here and one inside, so this for the most part has been working for me. Now also, before I start here, let's fix something here. Let's make this less large, especially for the upper lip. I think this is not helping. Yeah, it's just not following. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. So this is dangerous, but we're gonna try to reposition this manually then. This is the basis shape key, so this is the rest position. So I've decided to make this larger and the top less important. This will create, of course, some inconsistencies here, so I'm gonna try to rearrange this geometry here. I'm gonna see if everything here is good, if we're not having some sort of very creepy shapes. No, everything here seems fine, but we're still gonna do a smooth here, and maybe here too, just in case. Okay. Now I will return and I'm gonna pick this, Control Numpad plus until here. Now I'm gonna return to the no, not this one, but actually the anatomic lips, and we're gonna continue editing these ones. These ones. So here, this is a shape key, so you have total freedom to mess this up. So the positioning of vertex is complicated because the face loop is not very helpful in proportional editing, in giving this very regular face loops. They are not this topology here, which is many would consider the default, the regular. They are very bad for not the deforms themselves, but for dealing with the anatomic clip, basically shaping. They are not really good for that, and so this is very painful. But we can do it. It's just that it's tricky. So I have experimented with other. I have this somewhere in some character, I don't remember now. Not say to no avail, no, they still helped. But in this case, I have something slightly different, which is that I'm trying a setup of mouth lips corners, where the lips corners they have three joints, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, and so some in the universal sonic mouth rig there is not 3 joints, there are 2 joints. So there's a face loop that is for the side, and turns out that according to other rigs that I was assessing, it's very difficult for me to really know what is better. I think both works, but it is with 2, it's the cartoon rig is very clean. It's sort of easier to handle, but we'll still have very easy to have artifacts on lips corners anyway, so it doesn't prevent this kind of stuff. However, with 3, if we have specific, it allows specific a bit more control on the behalf of wave paint, and if we can increase the waves, for example, on very localized bones for this, then we can achieve very interesting results. Okay, so here for the front view, so you see we're already having some sort of interesting geometry here, but we'll have to adapt this in 3D. Yeah, it's hard to deal here. I need another pose, and also but you see, this already is a lot. This means a lot already for the character design, so this is good stuff. We're getting some it can be very tedious and very complicated sometimes, but due to practice and patience and good technique, so this is I won't say good technique, but adequate techniques, then here we can get this in a more organized way and without too much problem. So of course there is still the this is why I need this face loop here now. Time for this one to act, so we're gonna use this one, which was inside, to serve as volume here for actually. So this is where I was talking about the face loop is not, face loops are not helping the topology. It's hard to pick what we want, so it's annoying. But okay, so here you see we can create this volume here from the one that was inside, and it could be another loop outside, but you know, let's leave just one subdivision outside and one inside. Okay, and the upper part of this part here is a bit more tricky, but nothing too special, right? We all know, well, maybe not, but we can do some interesting shapes here very easily if we got the cards, if we get good geometry, good topology, and good areas here for the 3D viewport. And yeah, if we are using the right tools and all that, so we can, so for example this, we are gonna try to, we could do much more with just another face loop, but for the character design we must be attention though, because the more geometry you have usually, then more wave paint, it can get worse. Rapidly we can get worse. So you see, this is for me, after a while I found out that this amount of geometry was just sufficient for what I was looking for, no more no less. So I was finding the minimal requirements for the character design doing, at least for this character, but in principle this should be pervasive to the others of the same character design. And so this is a technique that they won't find in the Universonic mouth setup, although they use shape keys, yes, but not for this purpose. They use shape keys in the more conventional way to add other shapes to the mouth, so it's not, but it was thanks to the Universonic mouth setup that I was able to figure out this technique, this the anatomic shape key for the lips. And then turns out that, oh, we can do this with more, with other aspects of, but it doesn't mean like even the whole body, right? We could technically have the whole body. So you see, here is the change. The things could be better here in many ways, right? It's because there's the subdivision, right? So we don't really see the final result, and there is some shrink wrapping here, which is no, there is not. Okay, so okay, so basically there is something here that is causing that. I'm not sure this is a good idea, but maybe it can. This spreading of these faces, not sure. But what is clear is that I would like to improve some so this is because of the subdivision, right? How it pushes the mesh. So in this case we could consider, right, that maybe our character deserves a special face loop here, right? Just to improve this this subdivision, right? Yeah, which is a typical technique. Then we can of course bevel. Yeah, we can probably subdivide here, or we could pick this one and just bring it here, right? Also can work. So I think I'm gonna try this, right? So we don't want this, we want something about here. Alright, so if I look from here, we got, okay, this seems to be working. Then because I'm on the Yeah, so I need to be careful with this, but yeah, this is the anatomic. So yeah, we can have some changes here just for the anatomic, some adjustments. Probably because this will be a constant shape key. We should be careful here though. We don't want to be changing all this geometry here anyhow, because too radically, because this could affect, then interact badly with the, could become a bit more unpredictable, the results of the skinning, right? But here you see it might be good just because of the materials, but again I'm not sure if this is safe, this positioning of too close here to the joints. This is always dangerous. Not these ones, I mean the ones on the corners, right? But if I can reduce this, I was having this thing and I wasn't sure how to fix it. Now it turns out it is clearly because of the subdivision surface modifier. So we want to have this closer, right? Especially for the bottom. I still can't get that curvature that I wanted, but probably by just moving. Yeah, so you need to be careful, because I'm not sure here already if we'll start to have some issues because of the positioning of this. And I'm hoping that more in this case is not worse. So you see, we could totally dissolve this and still have something that works, but I suspect that this extra edge loop here would be beneficial, even though it is not indicated by the inverse sonic mouth tutorial, but we can probably use it nonetheless, because it is used on other cartoony rigs which are very good also. And because the kind of rig that I want for the mouth is a bit more, requires certain accuracy, certain anatomic details that others might not provide. So I need to make these tests, this change, these variations. So it will be the tendency, of course, of having 3 would be to provide a bit more of complexity. And if this complexity doesn't make the rig brick, then this will be a good indication that it is safe to be used. But I could find very early that I'm having a lot of issues there in the corner for many reasons. Here we have a little thing here, but this could be something about the shading, something that we can improve in other ways. Also the faces are not so here I don't know. So I'm just gonna smooth these things. Here maybe we can try to GG this. Doesn't seem to have worked, to have helped too much. GG. I'm gonna smooth this. Alright. Yeah, don't seem to be helping too much. Here we're gonna try to scale this face a little more. Use proportional editing. Gonna try just to get So we can shape this much better, the top lip, right? But because this is an anatomic lip, we don't need to care much about the wave paint of it. So the wave paint will be on based of the bases, right? So we just need to make sure that this pose is good enough, that the waves are good enough, that the base deformation without it, if the shapes are good without the anatomic lip, then that means that we are getting that whatever we do here, it should work. But if the deforms are bad already from the regular geometry, then we have big problems. And so here it's confusing, but these are the external faces of this is a single face. Alright, so I could improve more the anatomic lip, but as I mentioned, it won't be a big issue. I can do that later, I mean, because the mouth rig doesn't depend on this anatomic lip to works. They would be like an add-on, an extension, something that will just also we haven't provided good shapes for this, right? So we're gonna let's make the good selection here. Let's pick the this is hard to check, but I think it's this one. Yeah, so probably these ones. So I want to have this for the no, wrong ones. I want the top, yeah, the top ones here. So I want to bring this to the front line. They will create some volume here, help create a smooth. And finally this one. So yeah, then it starts to get complicated, and smoothing that won't save the day for the most part. Nothing helps for the corners. So here we see that we could improve this shape here. I'm still on the anatomic lip, so this is meant to have this kind of adjustments. We can, yes, why not? We can, for example, GG, approximate this to the center, then proportional. No, what's happening here? So something is going crazy here. Okay, it's because the mirror interaction of the mirror modifier with shape keys. This is very dangerous. S here, I'm gonna try to scale those things down in a sort of more or less regular way. Yes, this is looking, and here I'm not gonna pinch those things. I think this is good. Good setup, good technique. So here we got the anatomic lips, the anatomic eyelashes, although the case of the anatomic eyelashes are new to me, so what I can say here is that we can let's see, let's see how these shapes work in real time with some posing. We're gonna actually, yes, so we get good results here, you see, with the anatomic lip. And if I've modeled this too realistic, another cool thing is that it doesn't need to be 100, so you can try. So this will be with gnomes, see, very boring. Still works for cartoons. So many cartoon 3D, in Blender particularly, they seem to be okay with this. I don't like. I think it's fine, but what about this, right? So if we don't like the maximum anatomic, we can have something more intermediate, but we need to find a constant value that we'd be using to have some regularity. And maybe we'd like to have another for the inner wall, maybe that's, but it will be harder to model in that case. I think this is probably sufficient for the most part. And of course I would need to have in the case of these bones, right, we have something. So I've reduced of course you have extra bones for the mouth, not just these ones, but you see, this is the power of the anatomic lips in action. The lips deform through skinning very well. Yes, it works with the universal sonic mouth, even though the universal sonic mouth here is not ideal. There are many things that I need to, in this particular adaptation, to improve. But here then we have the lips. Yeah, we can control the lips. Some waves here that so here I have triple bones for the lip corner. So this was something I was testing, right? So something here is wrong about this automation. I need to investigate quickly. So there is the parent here. Do they have the same parent? Control lip. Okay, so this is parent to the control lip. But is this correct? tweak lip top. This is no, it can't be parented to a master lip top. Okay, all right. So these are, I think I've got the wrong parent. This is parent here in this hierarchy. I need to get the bone. Wait, the parent is master lip. Okay, so hold on. Oh no, is this one? Okay, the parent is correct, or at least now is correct, but we have a problem with the automations here. You see, this one is lagging behind. They should be moving together. Also, because this is carrying them. Oh yeah, sure. This should copy. Actually, is this the same? Let's see. Oh yeah, I copied, but I forgot to delete this one. So that's it. Shift Alt X. Also delete here, and this one. So it's just this one, which is the parent of. So it's a little chain here. So the cool thing is that we can, and also possibly I can parent this to this actually. So we have something that is more logical, maybe. Yeah, so it's not like the top lip needs priority over the bottom. So this is the things we can do with bones that we can do this already with just two bones, the top and the bottom, but with that third one we can also maybe have better deforms. That was my hope, right? I was liking the one with just two bones, but I was impressed by one tutorial of Maltreat which suggested three, and so that is the thing, right? Alright, so you see that we can already have crazy amount of shapes here, even though I'm not even trying too much. So one, the waves are still, yeah, the central here is a bit messed up, and you see there are some squarey shapes that are not welcomed, and we have still some improvements to do here and there, but for many shapes we have good let's see, for example, you have some triangular mouth. It's with a bit more improvement. I would like at this point to reattempt a where's the triangular? Yeah, so of course this will be a question of using certain pose assets to get the best, right, instantaneous shapes, right? And round shapes, because of the wave paint currently. So bendy bones, they are a candidate for I don't know if they can hold the sharp, and I don't know if they can do the purse very well. So they have certain difficult constraints. When I started to try the inverse sonic mount setup, I tried, believe me, to make it with bendy bones, and the results were terrible. But also I was probably failing because of other reasons. But it's not time to think about it. This will be a pet project, because there is a chance that bendy bones could still manage to do a very powerful inverse sonic mount rig with some caveats. So this here technically solves one of the big problems here. Where is the very important for my storytelling? So the facial rigging. Then where is the upper face? What is this? We got eyelid twitch, no control eye for integrator, reduce obliculars. There's a little thing that I want to fix here. Eyelids, improve eyelids, collapsing pose. This eyelashes. Yes, we did this one, but something about this that we need to improve. Possibly, yeah, re-automate. Yeah. Fix automation. Yeah, there's small, sorry. Yeah, improvements. Improve the anatomic eyelashes setup. I need to see how, if there are some things, because I never used this technique before. It is working, but fix automation, right? This is important. Eyelashes automation, right? Yeah, it's readjust. It's more than wiggle. This will be experimental. Not sure this. It's just simple. Just adding some wiggle bones to it. Okay, so solve problem, more problems appear. So preserve no, okay, where's the anatomic? Okay, here, good. So this is why we might want a rounded shape key for the mouth. That will be very valuable. Okay, these arcade things that I need to improve, because apparently I can't pose the I just can't pose the arcades on their own. So they are currently suffering from a limitation that their setup is quite tricky. So I don't need the lips for the face. I will just keep these ones. You see, these bones should be, in principle they would be control bones, tweak bones, but they are not working for some reason, so we're gonna try to re-implement this. So probably what's happening is just that jaws. Okay, so this setup, something happening that they are not playing the game. We have this weird interaction. This is happening because, oh yeah, I need to refresh the muzzle. This is another problem, but whatever, it's not a problem right now. Let's just make sure we are in the bases here. Yes. Okay, so do we need to be tweaking this? If they have the proper parenting and their automation is correct, we don't need to be looking at this. So yeah, I think we don't need to be looking at this. Oh, they are getting the good parenting. So just to make sure, Shift G, collection, no. Weird. Okay, so just hide this. Then, so these are the, okay, the ones which control the arcades, actually. These ones, no, there's some mechanism arcade. Okay, so how this is, let's go back to the arcades. What is their buff arcade? Okay, so they are parent to the buff arcades. Alright, so this is why these moves, Control T, so they are in reversed, right? So they are pointing in that other direction, inside the mouth. They are parented to the deaf head. When I pause this, the whole block moves. They stretch to target pivot top, which is this one, and target pivot bot, which is this one. This follow the master lip top and master lip bot. Okay, so they have some displacement here according to this tricky setup, right? So it's not a dependency cycle though, but okay, so this setup is good. These are also parent to the deform head. Alright, so let's see this color. Alright, the same color here. Okay, then we have to handle the mechanism. Mechanism arcade top, which is parent to buff arcade. Okay, so it is okay. It has, but it's inverted. Why it needs to be inverted? Stretch 2, control arcade bot. Why it needs to have this particular... Okay, let's see if I understood everything here. The buff arcade bot, it has a... There is a possibility for us to shrink up to the face ghost. In which case, okay, there is a thing that will follow the master arcade, so it has some sort of automation from here. If it doesn't have the, then it follows the master lip bot, yeah. Then it has the shrink wrap and the stretch 2. Okay, if it doesn't have the shrink wrap, it just follows a lot the master lip. Yeah, it doesn't need the shrink wrap because it's already following that, so that's fair. It probably doesn't need this. Because they follow the master lip, they probably don't need this too. Oh, they are lagging behind. Okay, so apparently they need this automation, right? No big deal. And then we have, okay, so clean one. Okay, this parenting seems correct, except that this bone is looking from the other direction now. And this is the doubt that I have. So copy scale, why it needs to copy scale of the control arcade bot? This is the control. Okay, so it copies scale of, okay, I see. It stretched all the elements. Oh, maybe it is because of this. Okay, so you can sort of control certain scaling effects. Yeah, so it has then a copy scale, stretch 2, limit scale, okay, something that I've arranged, and limit rotations for I don't know what. Because it doesn't seem to it is parent to the buffer there. This will not be changed directly. I'm not gonna pause this. This is not copying rotation. Yeah, so this I'm not sure what it is about. Yeah, all locked apparently. Why this bone is locked? Oh, it has an override, of course. To the mechanism arcade top. Alright. So this is why it doesn't. It doesn't seem to rotate, but it is there, right? So we can. But it's not manipulating. None of them are manipulating the arcades. So we have this problem. So possibly it's just that I've got the parenting wrong, right? If this don't get the jaw, yeah, they don't inherit this. This is annoying. So okay, but the jaw moves by the. It's not clean, but they move with the bone constraint there. So I will. But if I, yeah, it won't move as soon as I change the parenting. So if I. Okay, let's change this. So we got. Getting these faces, we're gonna change their. Now just these ones, this. We're using these options. So we're gonna parent this to mechanism and okay, something. Copy to selected, but the problem is that this won't symmetrize. Okay, it seems to have. Okay, that seems to be good. Then same for these ones. Mechanism and copy to selected. Alright, that seems good. Okay, so now I can pose this stuff with its tweaker bones. However, we have something. Okay, the arcades still move with this, so this is not totally failing. This indeed moves the arcades because this moves. This bone constraint will move the buffer bone. Yeah, so for example, this bone constraint will strange. What is activating these ones? Master leap. Oh, it's because of the master leap. Yeah, so they are being activated, but by another bone. So it's a bit crazy, the setup right now, and I don't like that these bones are lagging behind with the jaw, but so they sort of lose some follow up, but it's okay, it's not the end of the world. And here we can have, so we can scale this we have some, I think we had some limit scales there, but I'd like to rotate from here, but we don't seem to have the power here because of the override. So if I just deleted this override transform, then yeah, we don't manipulate the rotation because this is actually not copying rotation. Okay, we probably want to copy the rotation. But then will it follow these ones? Yes, indirectly. So I believe but the reason I was doing this setup because this one we can do some stuff like this, sort of pull the we can pull the arcades. It's not very useful here, but in some case it can help specific tweaking of the mouth. So it's not that it's interesting, right? And .3D, right? So can do it in 2D also, but this will be a complications on 3D. So not sure this kind of expression that I need in general, but I have this this potential here. So this will require more tweaking, but we can say that this was recovered. And then, yeah, the problem is improve, simplify, yeah. But this is not a priority. Recover functionality. Alright, so I think for today is enough, folks. Oh no, there's one more thing that I'd like to address. I'm not sure what is causing this. It's just the top, so, and it's just for this bone, the other one for the lids. Say something about eyebrows, orbicularis, maybe facial even. We're gonna see what happens here. Probably this bone transpasses, right? This is an orbicularis oculi. Okay, so in the end might be just a simple thing. Okay, we need a tweak bone here. Yeah, so this tweak eye hole is incorrect, so when it follows the master eye, it is just too strong, right? So it's just an improvement in the automation, I guess. Also, this one is now, yeah, I have this one, so why do they need to be stacking here? Yeah, it's like this one is already doing an automation for all of them, so I'm not sure here, right? If this should follow, because if it follows, it will double the transforms, right? And here we're getting so I have to make a choice, which one will be the more regular, which one will be the stronger. Yeah, also we don't want... It's hard to see everything here. this eyebrow, right? So why are you moving the... Same problem, we are not moving these ones, where it will be much simple to carry the big ones. Like the automation is on... No, it's also not in this blue one. Yeah, interesting. And here we have some skin which is weird. Probably just a bad positioning of one of these bones, maybe. Nope. Yeah, so this could be something else then. Yeah, so as you can see, this can go very wild in the how to achieve a good automation for a specific character design. I think it's too weak, right? The idea here would be to yeah, so I assume the idea here should focus on the big stuff, right? This changing the position of the big ones, not small by one. The disadvantage, of course, is that the disadvantage of doing something that will affect the big ones, or this carry the big ones, not the smaller ones, like these or these things, is that sometimes the automation is not good for the for the character design. So it's like if I just move this like in the same amount, right, like a parenting, then this is horrible. So this is why you need some, and sometimes it's not sufficient just to follow this and then follow this in a certain amount to have, you see, because the character design is so difficult. So yeah, there's a good reason to have done this way, but now I need a full revision on this. But at least we found some of the culprits. I want still to find out what is going on here. Oh, this is the it's this mesh here, apparently. It just needs to go maybe further away. GY. put it further away from yes, it's not sufficient. Let's disable the shape key. Maybe it's something related to the anatomic eyelashes. No. So it's something probably related to when the... So you see, this is fine, but as soon as this moves up, okay, could be the Twix eyelash. This is suspicious. These bones here. Are anything moving here? No, it's just my impression. It's just the eyelash. The lack of automation for the... What is this? Tweak eyelid top. Ah, this bone. Okay, it was too far from the eye, and then something weird was happening. There. It was not being shrink wrapped to the properly to the eye surface, I guess. But it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, this seems to be slightly better. Now let's I need to change this, adapt this new this to new better custom shades, right? Widgets. So yeah, I have still some automations. Here it's really about almost negating everything, restarting from scratch, right? Instead of trying to fix every little, like, I mean the bone constraints and maybe even the relations, but it's more likely if I have something better. But yeah, also cleaning up, simplifying the rig. So probably we don't need this, we might not need this one, right? It's just cumbersome to have it, especially if we have, yeah, because then it could just be a question of having, right, more sometimes is not, is worse, right? And these ones are for the orbicularis oculi. They are tweak ones. They will move the eyelids and the eye hole, so they are very important. They also will carry the eyelids, eyebrow. However, they don't have any bone that controls them. This controls the, oh, they have these ones. Okay, I forgot. These ones are the some of the eye hole masters. Yeah, I totally forgot about. So these are the this is not a good one. We need to reposition this. Yeah, this controls both. So of course this is it's just experimental. So I see. So you probably need to fix this one. So many of these controls are like redundant or unnecessary. These are probably useful, yeah, for the brow and eyebrow. Then we have this tweak. Yeah, so, and despite the fact that the eyebrows, despite the fact that the eyelashes, they are part of the mesh of the face, the shrink wrapping that the eyebrows mesh receive to the face, to the body, are through bone constraints. And actually it's not to the body, it's to, yeah, the bones are somewhere else. It's the ghost face mesh which is behind also. So it's the same there, it's the same there. And in this way we can, this ghost face, so in this way we can, no, not here. There, this face. So in this way we don't need to separate the eyelash from the body, which is very easy. It's very good in my opinion in certain cases, because it allows to leave the meshes connected. So no disconnections. Very easy to connect the eyelash with the eyelids to keep their relation. So this is why I prefer this way, but it poses some intricacies also. I prefer these issues than the other way around, which a lot of tutorials show. So yeah, essentially we got key features here solved or improved. yeah, wasn't able to start the Dorothy's urban costume, but the improvements that were made to the facial rig were crucial for the story. So let's get here and let's bring her back to the actually hold on. Let me check something here. Okay, so I have this linked collection. We're going to open the Dorothy Lounge, and here the character don't seem to be here, but we're gonna bring her from the library asset system, because the collection of her was finally set in here, so much easier to bring her now. We need to wait. Oh, so she was here, but okay, never mind. So for now I'll be using this is the same, right? She'll get the same updates because it's still linked. Alright, so as we can see, this is working very nicely on for certain expressions, right? So where's the eyebrows? No, not this face. We have getting some glitches there, but this is just improving the rig in some ways. Here probably I can solve this with this. just testing simple render, not going to this compositing madness. Oh, there's something about her head that is not looking good in this. She's getting some transparency out of the workbench scene. I think she's not here. No, it's disabled for some reason. Okay. Maybe it's not working as a link duplicate. Not sure. But the brightness, of course, is very destructive right now. Yeah, whatever. Just gonna render. Yeah, there are some glitches here and there, but something still, yeah, from certain angle needs some improvements. But I don't know what this is in the bottom of her mouth. Yeah, maybe it's something about the composite, the render. Anyways, folks, this was the rigging improvements. I'll bring in news more to the story. Hope tomorrow, but we'll continue here. And the next big topic will be a new character and another entire new environment linked to this one. Actually, it's a grand satellite space station. I wonder if I should start this immediately or not, but I think it will be good to start working on that. Thanks for watching, folks. Take care, happy blendering, have a nice week. Hope to see you soon. Enjoy.